From VOA Learning English, this is the Agriculture Report in Special English. Tall or short, fat or thin, natural, plastic, or metal. Whatever the choice, the National Christmas Tree Association says Americans bought over 40 million Christmas trees last year. Christmas trees are grown and harvested in all 50 states. Christmas time in the city usually means buying trees already cut and waiting to be sold. But some people like to drive to tree farms. Others wait for their tree to come to them, or they order one from the pages of a catalog, or even on the internet. Some say the easiest thing of all is to buy an artificial tree with Christmas lights already on it. The National Christmas Tree Association represents growers and sellers of most of the farm-raised Christmas trees in the United States. The group estimates that 9.5 million artificial trees were sold in 2011 compared to almost 31 million natural ones. So people still enjoy the appearance and smell of natural trees more. The group says people paid an average of around $35 for a natural Christmas tree and twice as much for an artificial one. But artificial trees, which mostly come from China, can be reused for years. Most natural trees are cut up and recycled, but some people buy trees that can be planted. The association says 16% of people who bought natural trees last year chose them at a farm and cut the tree themselves. 84% bought them already cut. Most Christmas trees are now grown on farms instead of in forests. The trees take 6 to 10 years to grow. In some states, less than half the planted trees survive the weather conditions to become someone's Christmas tree. For VOA Learning English, I'm Alex Villarreal. This is the VOA Special English Agriculture Report. Valentine's Day, February 14th, is one of the biggest days of the year for lovers of chocolate. Americans were expected to spend more than $1 billion on chocolates and other candies for their sweethearts this year. But the chocolate industry worries that prices for its sweets could rise in the years ahead. Susan Smith is a spokeswoman for the National Confectioners Association, a trade group for the candy, chocolate, and gum industries. She says they're very aware that an everyday candy product needs to be an affordable treat. Americans buy more than $18 billion worth of chocolate each year. But keeping chocolate at prices that people can afford may be a challenge in the future. Demand is growing, especially in Asia. More people in Asia are developing a taste for chocolate and have more money to buy it. The chocolate industry worries that supply will not keep up with demand. Cocoa is the main ingredient in chocolate. Millions of poor farmers in West Africa grow about 70% of the world's cocoa. Each farmer has just a few hectares of land, and they don't have a lot of additional capital. They may not have the management skills that are required to actually do a better job. So says Lyndall Meinhardt. He supervises cocoa research at the United States Department of Agriculture. Mr. Meinhardt says these farmers often do not have the money to buy fertilizers that would increase their productivity. And Sona Ibai, with the World Cocoa Foundation, says when the land stops producing, farmers just clear more land. Deforestation in West Africa is largely the result of so-called slash-and-burn agriculture for cocoa and other crops. Mr. Ibai, a senior technical advisor, says economic forces are not the only problems facing cocoa farmers. Experts say pests and diseases destroy 30 to 40% of the world's cocoa crop each year. The chocolate industry needs farmers to produce more cocoa to meet the growing demand. Small-scale farmers need help to increase their productivity and lift themselves out of poverty without destroying more rainforest. And West African governments want to help an industry worth $8 billion a year. Sona Ibai says all sides are working together to seek solutions. For the first time, farmers, processors, chocolate multinationals, civil society are working to make sure that the cocoa economy in the world is sustainable. Everybody chipping in to make it stay that way. For VOA Special English, I'm Alex Villarreal.